Next week? Yeah. Wednesday, Friday?
I also think the benefits that they get from us or from PAs into different speciality teams is the institutional knowledge that we bring towards those teams. Because as Adrian was saying, there's so much rotation around junior doctors that when they first start, they probably don't know how to refer patients, don't know how to book patients onto systems, don't know where things are. So us being around frees up that kind of time spent of being inducted into the ward, being inducted into the team. So I think that helps the team.
I think that makes a huge difference in terms of efficiency. I think that's probably one of our main.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we just can't measure it.
I think I always, at least I like to think that I think patients appreciate seeing
the same faces again.
The same face, because
certainly that's feedback I've had.
Yeah, and that's the same for me. Because the doctors do on calls and things. So if somebody's been on call the night before, then they're not going to be in today, or they may not be in today because they've got to do on call tomorrow. So I would have seen the same set of patients every day this week, and I'm going to be the continuity in my firm for this week, whereas there will be at least 2 other doctors probably on the firm seeing patients. So yeah, I think as you said, it's feedback I've had from patients that they enjoy having the same face around.
I think in terms of challenges, to go back to that, for me, as a sort of, so I've been graduated 6 years and I've stayed in plastic surgery. So initially I would say a challenge was that awareness of what people can and can't do, as Don was saying, and where you can kind of fit in, finding a sort of place where you will be able to do stuff. And initially we started completely on the wards, and it was a kind of process of building trust and negotiating to see patients in clinic and to assist in theatre. And I think it's just about building that. Whereas Dom, who started later, working in breast surgery and general surgery, I think you had a much easier ride in terms of negotiating, assisting in theatre earlier on, possibly because you were later.
Yeah, and that they had watched other specialties have PAs, and it developed a role specifically for PA coming in, which was varied with a good level of responsibility already built in. Yeah. So I didn't have to fight for that in my current role.
Yeah, it's just, I echo the same things. In urology, we've actually drafted a curriculum for PAs, which is still under development. So we've got a draft curriculum in terms of what we should know, knowledge in terms of after we finish PA, how many years should it take to kind of know all these different criteria in terms of urological conditions and how to assist and things. So we don't have that kind of, what PAs normally describe in terms of challenges is like they normally have like a ceiling of care, well, it's not a ceiling of care, but they start
ceiling
of responsibility where they feel like they've got to the top of their level and they've got nowhere else to go. Yeah.
And then they change specialties.
Yeah. But, and that can happen quite quickly. So you need to keep PAs a bit more enthusiastic about their role and keep them entertained. And I think by well, yeah, it's
I
true.
think I should rephrase that. I would say that for any career, what satisfies people is, I mean, I think in clinical careers, it's the patient interaction and that kind of amazing relationships that you kind of manage to develop with, meeting different people and taking histories and that kind of thing is incredibly valuable. But it's the how to rephrase that?
Yeah,
it's personal development and a level of autonomy, a level of sort of self, of being able to sort of improve oneself and reach actualization.
I think what is important is that the PA cohort develop their own way of working and their own autonomy within the structures, the governance structures that we have in the United Kingdom and I presume in the US. So we're very happy to see people work autonomously, but maintaining a very strong communication line with all their colleagues, and that includes nurses, junior doctors and consultants. And for the procedural type work, it gets a little bit closer in terms of supervision. So we were training a PA up to do urodynamics, which is a sort of minimally invasive procedure, and that requires a lot more hands-on. But I was quite impressed by the speed with which that individual took up the practice and progressed. So, you know, it shows just how much we can get from the PA cohort. Yes.
Does that make your job easier?
Well, absolutely, and it provides quite a good service to patients, because that's ultimately what we're about. And yeah, all-round win.